Hello and welcome to a special bonus from East Coast DNA podcast. Dakota and I are here today. We're on our vacation, wearing her out a little bit, and we have special guests stop by to the studio. Rudy, we know that you're performing tonight down at the Shoebox Cantina. Dakota and I plan to go down and catch at least the first half of the evening before the liquor rules kick in and 12-year-olds can't be there. Tonight when you're performing, you're doing solo performance, like your solo performance, but you're playing with a few other artists down there this evening as well.
Yeah, so it's a songwriter circle. So as far as I can tell, every other songwriter circle I've ever done, everybody's basically on the stage at the same time, and we're just taking turns.
And the Factory Girls, I'm somewhat familiar with. Yeah. They're playing down there tonight. And I know Andre Petitpas is supposed to be making an appearance as well. And who was the other artist?
The other artist's name is Logan McKay. Logan Edward McKay. He actually used to go by Edward, but he just recently changed it back. I guess there was too many artists with just the name Edward.
You're going to go for the unique name, yeah, for sure. And when you started off, I'm thinking you've been around, well, we talked earlier, so about 10 years you've been doing this?
Yeah, probably moved up to Halifax in it's been 9 years. 2012, I graduated 2013.
Okay.
And basically right out of high school, just came to Halifax, but wasn't doing music right away. I probably started like a year after that.
So did you start any early music, being that you're from Cape Breton originally? Like, were you doing stuff there, or was it more once you were in the city?
I was mostly just in Cape Breton, like high school music room. Like, if you looked at, like, I didn't do it really seriously, but if you looked at my report card right now, it would have been like every other class was like 50s.
Oh, yeah,
maybe if I was lucky. And then any arts classes, just any of them. It didn't matter, drama or film and video or music. It was like high 90s, every single one of them.
Yeah, I can see where you ended up then. So when you're in the city, you started, was that when you started doing solo acoustic folk stuff?
So really started out like doing rock more so. Like I was like the folk, like I've always like my favorite genre is folk.
Yeah.
But I started out with just friends, right? So my friends weren't super into the folk stuff, so it's more like starting out doing Led Zeppelin and Rolling Stones, stuff like that, just doing covers, you know.
Yeah, well, that's where a lot of us, like, well, myself not being a musician, that's where a lot of the bands start off, because that's what gets the bums in seats, so you can get out there. When did you start playing with your family then? Because I know you had was it the family orchestra?
Yeah, it was called the Pacé Family Orchestra, but funny thing is, everybody thinks it's my family. No, none of us were actually related.
Okay.
So basically, the thought behind the name was my great-grandfather came over from Italy in the 20s, and he started an orchestra, and it was some of my family then was in it, and the orchestra was called the Emilio Pacé Family Orchestra. So I basically just stole the name in tribute. And I know it's confusing to people. We're not an orchestra either.
yeah. I saw it online. I mean, I figured out what it was pretty quick. Yeah. But is that your sister in some of those videos, though? Or
I think that's probably Christiane Armstrong.
Oh, okay. So there is no relation to any of these people.
No, none of them. We're not related. Other than just good buddies.
Oh, there you go. That's fun. Well, that's a nice little tidbit. That's what the whole point of an interview is, actually. So between having, like you said, you were playing some more like classic rock kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When did Electric Spoonful come into play?
It's kind of weird because it was like there was another band before that. It's called Long Island Road. That was more of a Cape Breton-y. Like I kind of went back to Cape Breton for a couple months, probably close to a year, and we were doing that kind of back and forth from Halifax and Cape Breton. But that band didn't last too long. We got a new drummer and a new bass player. Those guys didn't last too long, but that was when we changed the name to Electric Spoonful. We just thought the name Long Island Road wasn't really that awesome for a rock band, didn't really fit.
Where did Electric Spoonful, the name, come from?
So that name's kind of funny. It's so there's a Howlin' Wolf song called Spoonful, and in the 60s, I think he did an electric version of a lot of his older hits.
Okay.
And so basically one time my old guitar player, one of the original members in Spoonful, like he's my best friend still, Brentley Campbell, just suggested one time, like, oh, we should do that cover, Spoonful by Howlin' Wolf. And I was like, oh, I do the electric version. So then we were just like, that name kind of sounds cool, Electric Spoonful. A lot of people, are like, that's a weird name. But I like weird names. I've always
it
liked
sticks
bands
out.
like Spooky Tooth and stuff like that. That's kind of what we were going for. We kind of like those weird.
It actually, I mean, I mentioned it a lot in the regular episodes of the podcast. I had a little stack of business cards and everything from Music Week last year, because that's when we were kind of started off. But Electric Spoonful's one that the name popped out when I was just doing research randomly through Google, looking for East Coast bands and everything. And I do tend to, not so much lately if anyone listens to the companion playlist, but historically I've listened to a lot of heavier stuff, so I gravitated towards it when I was looking for some new bands to check out. And now for Electric Spoonful, there's been a couple years since there's been new content, but you guys did, we were just talking before the show here too, that you did have kind of a reunion type.
Well, we've been back. We actually did. We released an EP, I think February last year.
Okay.
So it's a short EP. It was called Too Poor for a 2-4. And then we're actually working on the second half of that EP. So it's going to be basically 2 EPs. And then we're just going to smash them together, put them on vinyl as one album.
Yeah.
So right now we're working on that. And it's pretty close to done, I think. We have everything written, and probably half the stuff is recorded, tracked with AJ Bootlier and in Halifax.
Awesome.
So,
You got a little
we got a little
life flight flying over today. Hopefully everyone's okay.
hope so.
Yeah. But yeah, we're good there, I think. So AJ was recorded that with you?
Oh yeah. We usually go to AJ for
excellent.
everything. AJ or Adam Fancy is another guy that we go to a lot. I do any of my solo stuff. I go to Adam for.
And so you're still doing your solo stuff and Electric Spoonful still active at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's also, I'm not sure if you're familiar with most of our episodes, but like people like Matt Steele and Andre Petipa. There's a lot of people that they have a full band and then they have their solo thing.
Oh yeah.
You are actually two different genres.
Yeah.
We covered it a bit with Matt, where he does a little bit of country and a little bit of rock, and like he's a little bit everywhere. But I don't immediately recognize you and Electric Spoonful as being the same, even though I know that you're in Electric Spoonful.
It's definitely very weird. People are always like, because that's the thing. I like my favorite genre is folk music.
Yeah.
Soft, quiet, whiny stuff.
Yeah.
About crying over girls and crap like that.
Yeah.
But most people know me as the complete opposite in general. I'm pretty rambunctious.
Do you have a little bit of Bruce Springsteen influence in there,
a
maybe?
little bit. My dad's like obsessed with Bruce Springsteen. Right?
There it is.
I mean, I love Bruce Springsteen too. It took me a bit to get into Bruce Springsteen.
I'm not someone that, like, I don't own any.
Yeah.
And most of what I am familiar, I mean, aside from his big hits, like he's a classic rock artist at this point, right? But like Rage Against the Machine did The Ghost of Tom Joad, which was from like a album that he did that was more folky.
It's a beautiful song in general. I mean, my favorite album is what was it called, Nebraska.
Oh, okay,
Have you ever heard that album? That's like a whole folk album. He was supposed to do basically he was doing the pre-production for an album that he was going to do. I think it was still going to be called Nebraska, but when they got into the studio, like that was the pre-production.
Yeah.
Like, so when they went to the studio to record, he was like, the pre-production sounds better than the.
Oh, so like that's
so they
the
just
one.
used the pre-production, which is like
perfect.
Basically just him sitting there live off the floor with an acoustic guitar and a harmonica and
that's
ripping right through it.
That's the kind of I was trying to figure it out when I was listening through Bandcamp like I listened to some of your 2015, 2017
the real old
stuff like that.
The old demos,
and then I was listening to some of your newer stuff and like the orchestra videos that are on YouTube. And I knew some of the Electric Spoonful stuff anyway. But when I was listening to that older solo stuff, I had it on when I was doing chores around the house and everything. I'm like, what vibe am I getting here? Like, it was something and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I'm like, it's not something I listen to, but it's something I know. And I think that's what it was. It was Bruce Springsteen. That's why I bring that up.
Any of his folk stuff is great. I mean, even his rock stuff's good.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He's one that does kind of do that. He has like the folky stuff, and then he has stuff that sounds really completely different.
Oh yeah, the cheesy Americana rock kind of stuff. But I love that stuff too, though.
So tonight's show as well is part of a tour.
Yep.
So Was there one before this? This isn't the first night of it.
This is the first night. Yeah.
Oh,
so
it
this
is.
is only
Okay.
going to be a little. I mean, the original plan was to do like separate provinces,
Yeah.
more markets. But when we plan, a tour takes a while to book. So
Absolutely.
basically, when we started booking it, it was right when the pandemic. I'm not going to say ended, but
Yeah.
restrictions lifted up.
Yeah.
And people were still not really ready to
Sure.
have out of province bands come in and stuff.
Yep.
For the most part.
Yep.
So we just decided, whatever, we'll just do a little Nova Scotia tour, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a great time anyway.
I think both people that I just mentioned, Andre and Matt, just did little mini
Yeah.
things like that too. So it's nice to see everyone doing it. And I'm familiar with a couple of those names that are on there that I would normally have to travel a couple hours to be able to go and catch one of those performances. So for me personally and selfishly, it's nice that, well, you came here today. I'm 5 minutes away from the venue. So, I mean, that's ideal for me. And a little shadow over here in the corner can come down for a couple hours too. So that works out really well.
That'll
So
be a
it's
good
exciting.
show for that, honestly.
And are you sticking around? Tomorrow night, are you playing somewhere else?
Tomorrow we're playing Great Village.
Okay, Village tomorrow
so that's
night.
kind of out in the boonies there, but.
And then will you keep, is it through the whole weekend? What are the rest of the dates?
So the Great Village is tomorrow. That'll be the 29th, and Saturday the 30th is Cabot Shores Wilderness Resort.
Okay.
It's like right on the Cabot Trail.
Mm-hmm.
It's like near Angonish, and it's like a little yurt spot. It's pretty cool, honestly. It's you rent a yurt, and and there's a dinner with it too. I mean, you can just get the ticket for the show if you want. It's $15 for the show, but if you want the dinner too, I think it's around 50 something. Might be more than that. I don't know. It might just be all included in, like, if you rented a yurt.
The stay,
yeah. That's gonna be cool. 'Cause I've stayed up there before. It's really pretty beautiful spot. And then the next day, the last one for this weekend is Sunday at Island Folk Cider House. That's right in Sydney. It's in my hometown.
Oh, so you're doing a little summer camping and show loop, and then you land right back in
Pretty
your
much.
home doorstep. So
Home doorstep. I'm gonna drink some ciders.
there you go.
Probably get a little tipsy with.
On a side note, Michael Ryan from the Town Heroes is looking for someone to deliver some kombucha because he's up in Cape Breton for the week.
He's in Mabou.
And he hasn't had any kombucha.
Who's got the kombucha? Is it?
I have a big jug in the fridge. I was writing them
I
earlier.
can drop it off to him.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I could drop it off to Ron.
Let's see what we could do there. All right, so I won't keep you too long because I do know you got to get down and prepare for your show tonight. And so if anyone's watching this here on Thursday, the show, I believe the doors open at 7:30. Show started around 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 7:30. Show should start at 8, quarter after 8, maybe 8:30.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think it'll be a.
It should definitely be a good night, and it's a good little warm up for anyone wanting to get down to the Jubilee this weekend. So
I'll probably go take a look at that myself. Huh?
Yeah, the tents are all down there, and Dakota and I actually just scored tickets through their Find Andre Petipa contest. So
How would you find him?
he was actually, it was, I think it said float like a butterfly down by the marina, but the marina has the Monarch. It's a venue that's down there right on the water.
Okay.
So that was the obvious guess, and we got down there. They were actually just behind us. So
you won though.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah. So we're all set. So
Perfect.
I got to get her 7 more years of age so she can come down with me, and then we'll be all set. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be down checking out that. And I saw all the tents and stuff are set up, so you probably should swing by.
I definitely will.
Yeah,
Honestly.
when you're going down to Shoebox, I mean, it's right there. So.
Yeah.
I made the comment to someone else. You couldn't even have a cigarette between one venue and another if you were going for a walk. So there you go. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see some people out tonight. And thank you for joining us, Rudy. We'll have to hook up again in the future. Maybe get a performance here in the apartment.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anytime. Thank you very much.
Great.
I really appreciate it. Really.
Thank you again. And do you have something else you want to add?
Have a fist bump.
Fist bump. Yes, there you go.
She's into fist bumps. She's collecting photographs.
You might have put a bell in there or something. I did the rest. This one's got screwed up big time. I basically have a HD in there. I got one thing to say. Just tell me what you want me to do. I'm too tired of losing now. Let's make it free. Do the math, girl, you can count on me. I'm drinking, smoking, and messing around. It's 4:15, time's running out. Say it out, say it all out. Sit here biting that clock on the wall. I saw it coming. I tend to hide from the things that I doubt. Often I'm stumbling to figure it out. But I'll come around. You looking at me? Well, I don't understand. Times I screwed up, I can't count on both hands. The trouble is away, I know it ain't fair. Sad, crazy drunk of a man to bear. I saw it coming. I didn't hide from the things that I doubt. Often I'm stuck to figure it out. I could do better. Maybe if I had just tried it all. Yes, no one way prepared for the fall. And I saw it coming. I can't hide from the things that I doubt. Nothing I'm stuck to figure it out. But I'll come around. Down